Hello there and welcome back to the channel. Today I would like to talk to you about addresses, websites, and receiving your packages and your mail. So for the first part, I would like to talk about addresses. Now I live in Vlora. That's what part of Albania I am in. However, I do believe this is going to be the same for all of Albania. And first of all, that is, their addresses are not the way you will expect them to be at all. It's not going to have a distinctive street address. There's not going to be a very good house number for the most part. It's kind of like, well, I'm in this part of town, and you're going to think probably the way my wife and I did, how in the world are we ever going to get our mail, let alone if you're ordering something on a website, how do you fill out the address when you don't even understand it yourself? So since we've received now a lot of packages different ways, I thought this would be a good video to tell you what you should get right, what doesn't really matter, and we'll go through all of this. And I am currently on my way to my business that I am trying to start here, which is a coffee shop here in Vlora. We do have a channel for that. I'll put it down in the description in case you're wanting to come here and see what it's like starting a business. So, addresses. What's the most important part of your address? Well, this is going to seem silly, but it's going to be your phone number. Your phone number is probably the number one thing you want to get right when filling out anything about your address to receive packages. So I'm going to explain that a little bit further. Your name would be, of course, very important as well. So let's just give name and phone number equal power here for the most important thing. The next thing would be what city you're in. So for me, I'm in Vlora. So using Vlora and using the postal code for Vlora is very important. Now the street address isn't that important, and this is why. When you order something and it is delivered, more than likely this is what's going to happen, because this is what happens with me all the time. Let's see if this dog attacks me. Sometimes it does, sometimes it does not. Yep. Tried to get my ankles again. Anyway, so whenever you do receive a package, instead of delivering it to your door, they're going to just call you. It's going to reach the post office. They're going to call you on the phone, and they're going to speak Albanian. And let's say you don't speak Albanian. Well, usually they're going to either speak your language if they speak it. So if they speak English, they'll do it. But if they don't be surprised if they just hang up on you. A few moments later, you should receive a text to your phone, and on that text, it will have some information about your post, and it will be in Albanian too, so you're going to need to use Google Translate or something like that to translate it back into your native language. So that's a thing that's going to happen, and then you could figure out the fun part, which is, where do you pick up your package? So just remember this when filling out things on websites for things to be delivered to you. Again, the most important thing is getting the city that you're in, getting your name, and getting your phone number first and foremost. Otherwise, you will never know when you have received that, because it is more than likely not coming to your residence. You're going to have to go pick it up. So when they do notify you that you've got your parcel, and let's say it comes through a text like we've talked about already, I found here in Vlora that there's 3 different methods or 3 different places that it's going to be for me to pick up. One would be the actual post office. So you're going to go there and you're going to need to figure this one out on your own, and that is, where in the post office do you pick it up? You're going to need somebody to help you with this. So the first time we ever picked up a package at the post office, it was a complete nightmare. It took us about a good 45 minutes to finally hunt it down. We went to window after window. The employees didn't speak any English, and our Albanian is terrible, and that's being nice. So it was extremely difficult getting our package, but we figured it out. And the next time I received one for that post office, I went up to the exact same counter, which in this case was counter number 1, and asked for the package, showed them my notification I got from my text, and they gave it to me real quick. So it was one of those things where you just gotta learn by trying. The next place, we got a text from another place, and it said like post office Shqipëri, and it said TNT near the School of Music. That really threw us off. We went back to the post office. They didn't have it. And then finally, they couldn't help us until we said near the School of Music. And then they helped us out and let us know that there's a place there to pick up packages that's different from them. I think it was called TNT, and it's across from the School of Music. So there you go. So I do get packages that I need to pick up there. I just need to make sure I read it to figure out where it's coming. The next one was with a company called Ultra. It's, I guess, their version of, let's say, FedEx. But we've received several packages over at Ultra. So make sure you look to see where your package is going, and don't delete your text notification about your package, because you're going to need to show that at the counter so they can pull your package for you, or you are looking for a hard time picking up your actual parcel. The next thing I wanted to go over with you are what websites work for receiving things in Albania. So let's talk about what doesn't, because a lot of people always ask about Amazon. Typically, Amazon does not deliver to Albania. I've seen in some groups on Facebook, expat groups, that people are having things delivered to an Amazon locker in Italy and then going over to Italy to pick it up. But as far as getting it here in Albania, it doesn't appear that that's a thing. So you will not be able to use Amazon from what I understand. What does work, which was a big shocker, was Temu. You may think, oh, Temu, who'd use Temu? When you're desperate, you will use Temu. And we were not charged anymore for shipping, and we didn't have to pay any VAT or customs on it, which blew me away. I could be wrong about the VAT if they charged it whenever I paid in checkout. I just don't remember doing that. But we have received all of our shipments from Temu when we ordered on that website. Now, if it's something I need, what I do is I go onto websites, let's say it's outside of the country, like European websites that say that they deliver to Albania. If it says they deliver to these countries and you do not see Albania listed, they probably do not deliver to Albania. But if they do have it on there, yes, it has worked for me. It took 30 days to receive something from Austria one time just to get here, which I thought was a little long, but whatever, just know it's going to be a little while. But if it says they deliver to Albania, they do deliver to Albania. Now, I will say we did pay a lot on one website out of Germany when we ordered a bunch of coffee cups. Now, when I say a bunch, I'm talking like 96, I believe is how many we ordered. We did pay for customs. It was held in customs. We had to pay a fee for that. The fee, strangely enough, for that was paid at a bank. Our attorney helped us with that one. We went to him and said, hey, we have to apparently pay this. Where do we pay it at? And we paid it at the bank, and they notified the company that we had done this, and it made it to us eventually. So yay. So that was a good thing. So do know in Albania, you will search far and wide for things that you need, and you'll do a Google search for Albania to buy things here in Albania, and you will find out quickly that a lot of companies, I mean a lot, do not have a very good online presence whatsoever. The product you may be looking for is here somewhere. You are not going to be able to find it by a normal Google search. Do try to find it on things like, I kid you not, TikTok or Instagram. A lot of companies use that. Anyway, that is all I have for you right now. I hope it was helpful. If you feel so inclined, buy us a coffee. There's a link down in the description. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. Until next time, I will say thank you in Albania, which is Fala Menderit.